Hey guys, I'm here with my friend Alex. He's an attorney out here in Florida. You guys haven't seen him in a little bit, but I wanted to catch him up to speed on some of what's been going on here. I text him from time to time just to let him know that I've been subpoenaed or mentioned somewhere that I should not be mentioned. So
Usually.
yeah, it must have been like a year ago probably that you last came on here, and then you and Caroline both. I don't think it was at the same time. Both at the Two Truth and a Lie thing.
Yeah, I think it was
Or
back to back, but
oh
I
yeah,
didn't have my
okay.
camera on. My audio was a mess,
Yeah.
and
So I sent him the indictment like not even like 15 minutes ago. I was like, skim this, basically. So he has limited knowledge as to like what's going on here. It started to pick up a little bit more in the mainstream media, the Laura Owens stuff, the fake
yeah.
pregnancy chick. So uh, I don't know if you've actually seen any of that at all, or if you've just not. Because
So obviously, I see, from following you. Last time I was a
yeah.
complete blank slate. So now I
Okay.
have passing awareness.
Okay. Good. Good. Um, so I was just going back and forth between here and San Francisco because there's a guy out there that she had gotten this domestic violence restraining order against like 10 years ago or something crazy like that. And she also faked the twin pregnancies with him, faked cancer, faked all kinds of stuff. Um, and she was still trying to renew, even with her criminal charges hanging over her head, still trying to renew this like fraudulent DVRO against him, which he stipulated to a long time ago because he was like, I don't have the time, the money, the resources to fight this. I don't want her in my life. I mean, basically, I'll just move on. Thinking, not realizing that it would hang over his head for this long. Um, and so she decided that she was going to try to get it renewed against him for life. And because that's like her victim card. That's her ultimate original victim card is that DVRO.
Sure,
And
she could point
yeah,
to it.
yeah. So there was supposed to be a hearing, a 2-day long cause hearing. And she didn't show up the first day. She shows up on Zoom and she like tries to convince the judge that she's like, oh, I didn't realize I was supposed to be there in person, even though she was ordered to be there in person. Then the next day she pulls out something like, like a card she had in her back pocket to do like an ADA complaint where the judge basically has to agree to give her a little bit more time. Otherwise she could like overturn shit on appeal. So we come back 2 weeks later and she again doesn't show up for court, even though she knew very well that she was going to have to be there in person. And she's trying to fake another, in my opinion, there's no way this is real. Fake like an emergency procedure that she had to go under general anesthesia for, like right before. And this is after she had the night before, the days before, sent all these emails to his attorneys saying all kinds of like crazy stuff. And also that she thought that the court reporter was going to be unfair to her somehow because they're somehow tied to the cult that I am purportedly a leader of.
So I've heard.
Yeah. So I think I showed you that a couple months ago. Right. And so like the thing is, I don't share a lot of this stuff with people in my life who are not also on, YouTube talking about it. So when I send that stuff to people like my parents or Alex or my cousin Caroline, who you guys have also seen, they're just kind of like, what the fuck have you done? Like, what have you done? So what was your like thought when you read that?
What have you done? What this time?
Right. No,
No,
exactly. But I'm just kind of like, what though? Like, did you ever think like, okay, so are you doing some crazy shit? Like what is happening behind the scenes here? Or because I never know
well,
how people are
obviously,
going to react.
yeah. I mean, I give you benefit of the doubt just
Sure.
as a friend, but
Right.
my lawyer brain is that there are always two sides to a story. So
Yeah.
I'm curious,
Right.
what meat there actually is to something.
Yeah. I mean, you hear something like that and you got to think like, well, there's a backstory here. But then in my case, it's like the backstory is I say rude comments about these people on the internet. That's not
Which is
worthy of a cult leader label. So
First Amendment, baby.
that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. So that's been all really crazy. But anyways, this guy and his DVRO, it's now been dismissed because she didn't show up. But there's a whole other
Okay.
thing going on in Arizona where she was indicted on those charges for her crimes against the guy Clayton, who was the Bachelor, which is the one that you knew about. And then there's another guy. His name is Greg. that she's now been indicted on 7 more felony charges
Wow.
because of her stuff against him. So she's like faked provider notes. She stole an ultrasound off the internet, and there's like some charges for that. There's just all kind of crazy stuff going on. So I just wanted to pull up like some of her more interesting moments and some of his, and just see like what you think about it.
Sure.
Whatever, leader Lauren, I do what I thank you very much. Okay. Yeah.
You don't rule with an iron fist, though.
What's that? No,
you don't rule with an iron fist.
I just want to literally. I just want to be left alone. I don't know why. Okay. I don't know why I got picked for that, but so there's a whole website here, which I'm going to pull up in just a sec. Hang on.
And I don't know if you necessarily know this, Lauren, but restraining orders are something of a specialty of mine.
I did not know that. Oh, okay.
I should say, and I can, opine generally on criminal law. I should say, obviously, the given caveat disclaimer.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go
I'm
ahead.
just going to be speaking generally. Nothing I
go ahead.
say is treated as legal advice. And I'm licensed in Florida, so
yeah,
what I say really only applies to Florida law anyway. Certain things vary enormously state by state. Other things are pretty much the same. Like evidence kind of is the same everywhere. So,
okay.
With that out of the way,
we are Lauren. Resistance is futile. That's so true. Oh God,
it's a hive mind, really, more so than a cult.
Yeah, right. I said it was like a club, but I guess I don't get to choose.
Involuntary club.
Yeah, this is my second time this year that I had to file something in court. I was like, what is my life path right now? Like, I don't understand. Anyways, this was Mike that I was just telling you about. So I'm going to read, because you've seen Clayton stuff, this timeline about Greg's case. Before we get into that stuff, we'll kind of skim over it. I'm not going to read it word for word, but they were on their second date, meetup, whatever, when they had sex, while using 2 forms of birth control. The following evening, Laura attended a group dinner uninvited. So he was there with a group of people and she just shut up. It was this evening Greg concluded he no longer wished to pursue a relationship with Laura. I think that was probably the wise decision. Approximately 2 weeks after their intimate encounter, Laura informed Greg she was pregnant with his child, a claim she subsequently revised to twins, which she usually does. It's always twins.
I was going to say, wait, that sounds familiar.
Right. No, it's a lot of people speculate that it's because there are certain things you can't do as far as like paternity testing and stuff on twins, she thought. They did eventually, with Clayton, find a lab that could do it. But then it came back little to no fetal DNA twice. And then like one got lost in the mail or something. So it was just, crazy.
Yeah, usually paternity petitions aren't filed till after birth.
Yeah. And she also does this because with at least these 2 guys, she would say, oh, if you will date me or stay with me, I will take the abortion, whatever, or I'll get an abortion, or I'll take the pills. And so then she'll be like, I took the pills. And then if they don't keep responding to her or continue having a relationship with her, she's like, oh, it only killed one of the babies. Yo.
A little
yeah.
Twisted, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd be pretty freaked out.
If you leave me, then I'll keep your babies.
No, it's very crazy. She's like, if you don't want to stay with me, I'm keeping the babies because I want babies. But if you will stay with me, I will abort the babies because I want a relationship. It's very strange. The whole thing.
Sure, Jan.
Jan is actually her mom's name, who enables a lot of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Laura proposed a dating contract. So this is at least the second guy she's done a contract with. She proposes these contracts which say, I will date you with intention for X amount of time. And, if we do that, then I guess there's a stipulation there, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But she tries to get them to sign these relationship contracts in exchange for, I believe it was an abortion, but I can't recall exactly.
Which contracts aren't my specialty, but right off the bat, that doesn't sound enforceable at all.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Void against public policy.
I thought it was pretty standard here in Florida, but whatever. I've seen some shit. Anyways, According to the terms, if Greg agreed to an exclusive and intentional relationship with Laura, he would have influence over the outcome of the pregnancy. So yeah, basically all abort these babies if you sign this contract to date me for X amount of time.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. At the end of July, Laura Owens confirmed her pregnancy with an HCG urine test conducted at a medical facility. On August 6th, she sent Greg a text containing an ultrasound image that purportedly showed a twin pregnancy. However, he soon discovered the ultrasound image had been stolen from a 2014 blog authored by a different woman and confronted Laura with this revelation. The situation quickly escalated, resulting in Laura Owens filing a civil lawsuit against Greg on August 11th, accusing him of abortion coercion, domestic violence, and emotional distress.
Is that the restraining order case?
What's that?
Was that the restraining order case?
There's 3.
Oh.
Yeah, so this was number 2. This was victim 3 technically, but restraining order case number 2, as far as we know.
Okay, but it wasn't like a super damage.
There have been up to 5 men that have dealt with this lady in this way.
Oh, wow.
That we're aware of, yes. There are 3 public ones, and there's 2 that have not really come forward. Okay. The situation quickly escalated, resulting in Laura filing a civil lawsuit against Greg on August 11th, accusing him of abortion coercion, domestic violence, and emotional distress. In April 2024, the stolen 2014 ultrasound was confirmed by the original owner as her own. Okay, so that's when people online, when she went after Clayton the Bachelor and it got all this publicity, started to realize, like, we can reverse image search this stuff, and they started figuring it out. Additionally, it was revealed Laura had hired a freelancer from Fiverr to alter the ultrasound.
Oh, wow.
Evidence by the presence of a Fiverr logo displayed in the image. So we found these,
cutting edge.
Yeah, these 2 streamers, Megan and Dave, were going over this stuff on a stream, basically saying like this goes back to this is somebody else's ultrasound, and then people started to notice in the chat like, dude, there's something in the middle of that, and they're like, oh god, it's a Fiverr logo.
It's a watermark.
Yeah, so she didn't even
great.
pay. She didn't even pay her fee to the person on Fiverr who faked this for her.
Oh, she stiffed the.
Yeah, she did. Otherwise, the logo would be gone.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, right. And then of course later she says, I totally never sent that or whatever. But yeah. Greg suspected Laura of stalking and harassment, including Laura reaching out to HR at his workplace. In response, Greg sought an order protection. However, after 3 unsuccessful attempts to service the order, it was rendered ineffective. In retaliation, she got an OLP against Greg. Okay.
Oh, so his petition was dismissed for lack of service on her?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she made this whole big deal out of it when people obtained the document, like his petition that he filed in court. And she was like, he's done something wrong to violate the order of protection because he obtained this document and shared it with people. I don't even know if it was him. We don't know that. But is sharing a document like that really a violation of an order of protection?
Not in Florida.
Not here, no.
Yeah. I mean, it would depend on, I suppose, on the language of the order, but usually it's direct contact.
Right.
And that has constitutional implications about restraints on speech. You know, can you stop someone from making public statements?
Right, exactly.
You know, which is why they're usually tailored to direct communication.
Yeah. Okay. From January to October, the civil case continued with Laura requesting $45,000 in damages. In August 2022, Laura engaged in ex parte communications with the presiding judge, alleging that she had been drugged and sexually assaulted, claims which she suggested involved Greg Gillespie and his attorney. So she told the judge in like an ex parte communication that Greg and his attorney basically conspired to have her sexually assaulted, and that the FBI was investigating it.
Go to the police.
Yo, right?
You don't
well, she said that the FBI was involved. I don't think that was ever true, but I mean, she may have called them, but I don't think they ever opened an investigation. Yeah. She was like, the FBI is investigating
involved
this.
Is
loose. Crazy shit. Anyways, let's move on to some of this documentation, which I wanted to go over. But there is somewhere, let me find it on Reddit. There's a whole Reddit for this shit too. A document where she tried to accuse him of fraud and perjury, which is hilarious. that I hadn't seen before today.
Rejection.
Yeah, 'cause there's like so much stuff going on here that I've missed some stuff.
Well, I'm sure she's hard to keep up with.
No, for sure. And I kind of lost track of this for a while because I was doing Justin's stuff, but then she kind of came back with a vengeance after the indictment. So she after she was indicted the first time, she threatened the county attorney on a blog.
That is a great strategy, always.
I know, right? Her criminal attorney finally got her to shut the fuck up, but the one that kept trying to threaten to sue me, the family law attorney, kept making it worse.
Mhm.
So it was just back and forth for a while.
So does she have private counsel, and where is she now?
She does now. We don't know how she's paying for it because her family just declared bankruptcy. And yeah, and she, from what we can tell, has never held a job in her life. So we don't know how she's paying for that, but they are. But I don't know about this second indictment. Like, I don't know how she's going to pay for that. I'm assuming that would up the charges quite a bit, or the actual, not the charges, the finances quite a bit. So.
Well, yeah, I mean that's between her and her attorney, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it's all in Arizona.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The guy in California, there's no criminal charges there. It's just it was just the DVRO thing.
Okay.
So she just didn't show up, and she then like filed bar complaints against the attorneys, of course, for him in that case.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. All right. I don't remember which. Let me see if I can find it. It's not that one. It had something to do with Greg. That wasn't it. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Where she's like, anyone in chat, where she's like filing against him for like fraud or whatever. But while we're looking for that, this person here, Bobby, okay, Bobby is an AI. Hang on, let me show the screen.
Oh, great.
So this person, Bobby, has been arguing with her old family law attorney, who is still somehow involved with her in some way. Whether they're friends or what, I don't know. And he keeps writing these unhinged, crazy long blogs. And one of them was in response to this guy, Bobby. Bobby is not a person.
Bobby isn't real.
Is a chat GPT. You know, so because like the guy who did it, he like talked to me yesterday. And he was like, yeah, I wrote 0% of that. That's an AI comment. I just pasted it onto his blog, and then he freaked out and wrote like 4 pages in response, which was amazing.
How very 2025.
Yeah, right. Jermaine Down, thank you for the $5. Her FBI involvement is nothing more than an IC3 web form complaint. You're probably right about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I may have told you this once, but the FBI actually, somebody who worked for the FBI had to call in a wellness check on her because she was saying some crazy shit to them. So,
well, yeah, I suppose involvement can be very loosely interpreted.
Yeah. Fake Laura Owens, thank you for the $5. Hi, Alex. You vaguely meet my parameters. Any chance you know your motility account? I'm sorry, ignore that, please.
I don't want to ask.
Don't worry.
The parameters.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Blobby is AI plot twist. I thought you guys knew all that. All right. Anyways, if I can't find that one document, that's fine. Anyways, we'll go to my friend's blog here. So I can show you what he said to Bobby. This guy is basically raging out against the Arizona State Bar because he's pretty much in trouble.
So he's an Arizona attorney. This is her
Yes.
former family law.
So he's licensed in Arizona, where he was their family law attorney. He's also licensed in California. He caused himself some problems in this California case as well, but then he kind of dipped out. He was like, I'm not going to represent her here, whatever. Because the guy, Mike, who just had the DVRO dismissed, he was a witness in Clayton's case in Arizona, the one that I went out to film. And he had a subpoena. He responded to the subpoena, but this guy, David, convinced, and Laura probably, thought the same, convinced them that, he was violating the DVRO by responding to the subpoena and showing up in the court, even though the judge ahead of time said he can be here.
Oh, no. Never, never.
Right. But that's been this ongoing thing. And the basis, like the main basis for her, trying to get a lifetime DVRO against him was he showed up at court in Arizona in response to this subpoena, which is crazy.
So kind of a catch-22 there, huh?
Right. No, it's like you don't show up, you could get arrested. You show up, you could get arrested, basically. And so he tried to call the cops, like 2 or 3 different sets of police, to get him arrested for violating this DVRO, even though he knew Mike was going to be there and he knew he was going to be a witness. So it was.
So this is on a motion for extension, or did he file a motion to dissolve it?
What's that?
So this was on a motion on the restraining order. Did she
you mean when they tried to get him arrested, or?
Yeah, for the hearing that she didn't want him to show up for.
Right. So this was Clayton's hearing. So Clayton, the bachelor guy,
okay.
right?
My bad.
So he had his hearing, and Mike, having been through this with her before, was called as a witness, basically.
I see.
As a witness. And so they tried to have him arrested for showing up as a witness.
That's the whole point of the subpoena.
Right. The lawyer stalked him to the bathroom. Yeah, right.
It's hard to keep.
Stalked him to the bathroom. Like he's breaking the law. Calls the Scottsdale police, the Phoenix police. The court security was like, no, he's fine. Like they just would not stop harassing the shit out of him. As like witness intimidation at that point. It was just crazy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Which I saw a little bit of that on the or tampering with evidence. I think on the indictment.
Oh, dude, that wouldn't have had anything to do with Mike, I don't think. But yeah.
Again, hard to keep everything straight.
No, I don't blame you, because if you're not keeping up with the shit every day, it's like hard to know everything. So don't forget to tell Alex about Look at Me Daddy. Don't worry, we'll get there.
No.
Okay. This is my friend David, who thinks I'm a cult leader. He's deleted a lot of his blogs, but he still has some stuff here. But here's Bobby. Friday fun, let's feed a troll. And the reason this is so funny is like I told you, Bobby is an AI pasted comment. And so he's going back and forth with this Bobby here. So he's pasting Bobby's comments, and he's like, my response, more Bobby, my response, more Bobby, my response. And he's look how many paragraphs and paragraphs he's typing in response to Bobby, who's just like a copy and pasted fucking AI comment, which I think is amazing.
About spinning your wheels, huh?
Yeah, right. So that's the dude we're dealing with. He's crashing out all over the place now. But let me see if I can find the Look at Me Daddy document. Have you seen that? I don't think I showed you that.
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
Oh boy. Okay. That must have been when they were asking for change of judge in Clayton's case. So I'm looking at that now. Hang on. Let me pull it up.
That was a little bit of everything. They filed for disqualification of the judge.
Oh yeah, and this was just in Clayton's. So there's all kinds of stuff going on there. Let's see. 6/10/24 was the date of the trial. Let's see. So then they asked for, there's a motion for change of judge. I think this is probably it. Let me just search the word daddy really quick and see if I can find it. No, it's not this one. It's okay. No, this is totally got to be it. I think it's just not registering the. Yep, I found it. Okay. I'm sure this time it's it. Okay. You can see that, right? I'm gonna pull this a little closer there and move us in there. All right. So he is asking for this change of judge, saying basically the judge was biased for XYZ reason. So one, performing an independent investigation into the facts of this case. So there was something that she said about Planned Parenthood being closed on Sundays, I think was the problem. And he's like, the only reason you would know that is basically if you were looking at like justiceforclayton.com or some shit. There's no other way you could possibly know that. You did something improper. 2, considering and relying upon information posted on the internet. Yep. And 3, engaging in ex parte communications regarding this case with her father. So her father, and I didn't see him myself, her father allegedly attended this trial, which is not that surprising given like he also has a history in the legal field. This is a local case involving a celebrity, the Bachelor lead. And so he was in allegedly in the overflow room watching the projector. And so this is now like this guy's like a dog with a bone. He's like, she obviously did something improper here. But we'll go down to the part that's most kind of controversial here, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen written in a court document. And this guy's written a lot of weird stuff. I mean, the guy filed a motion to compel lunch, for fuck's sake. So, yeah. I think I might have told you that one before.
Believe it or not, that wouldn't have been a first.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Yeah. Okay. Other evidence supports a finding of judicial bias. And here we go. The evidence of bias and misconduct is not limited to just the Planned Parenthood is closed on Sunday issue. Rather, as explained in the affidavit of counsel submitted herewith, another separate issue also establishes Judge Mata's bias. There's evidence showing the judge shared information about this case with her father. There's not evidence of that, by the way. And that he not only appeared at the trial as a spectator, he later socialized with Clayton's cult-like supporters, telling them comically, "I'm here for the shit show." There's absolutely zero proof of that ever happening.
Okay.
Somebody was basically paraphrasing something that he may have said in the overflow room to a person sitting next to him while he was just like socializing.
I'm not sure how that would be disqualifying anyway.
Right. No. But he says it is difficult to imagine a more disrespectful, disreputable, and disgraceful act for any judge to commit than inviting her father to attend a high-profile trial in support of a party. Okay, so she didn't do that. Like I just told you, like he just showed up, I guess, if he was there as is alleged. He just showed up because he has a history with the legal system. He's interested in this trial involving a celebrity in his town.
And his daughter, I'm imagining she must be a younger judge if her father is involved. It's public proceeding. And that sounds like a lack of imagination on his part if he can't imagine anything more disgraceful than a judge's father attending a hearing.
Right. Well, he also says, she privately engaged in the prohibited ex parte discussions. Again, where are you getting that from? These actions made a mockery of these proceedings, as shown in the video clip submitted herewith. Clayton's supporters gleefully celebrated Judge Mata's father's participation, even going so far as to laughingly ask people not to spread information about his participation because we don't need a mistrial here. And people were like joking about it, because people it's like people who follow this trial, they've been on the internet talking to each other most of the time. They make jokes. People say things that are dramatized or whatever, dramatized.
The public isn't a party to the case.
No, right. For once, those followers were exactly right. The conduct of Judge Mata and her father absolutely warrant a mistrial, or more accurately, a retrial before a different unbiased judge. This shameful conduct not only violated Laura's rights, it raised serious questions regarding Judge Mata's fitness. Okay. Any reasonable, objective observer in Laura's position would be justified in wondering, was my case fairly decided based on the evidence, or was Judge Mata simply trying to impress her father? Look at me, Daddy! I'm a real judge now. Just watch me destroy a young woman's life because the other party was on The Bachelor. Hee.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's professional. And
right.
Why would he think it would actually matter which way she ruled or the other in terms of impressing her father? A father's going to be impressed that his daughter's a judge, I guess. I'm sure he was at her investiture, and it was a joyous occasion for them. So,
yeah. I liked Rachel, but Lauren was too demure. I agree. I was too demure. I was trying to be respectful. I don't know why you're here, though. You should probably just leave if you don't like me, because Rachel's not here. So, bye-bye now. So we don't need to read any more of that. Obviously, that failed.
I would imagine.
They kept going. He was like, I'm going to take this all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States, and like this ridiculous shit.
Good luck.
It didn't happen. They took it to the Arizona Supreme Court. It did not work out in their favor with the appeal, the reconsideration, and the Supreme Court. It didn't work out.
You can only appeal so far on your own before the court has to actually accept your case.
So, it obviously didn't work out for him, but he, never stopped trying to make his case online. That was just the craziest part, was like his blogs and all the crazy stuff that he would say. He has a video of himself dressed as Santa talking to his client, letting her spew her lies on the YouTube. So I'm like, what are you doing? I have.
Is she his only client?
Certainly seems that way. No, he does actually have another client who was here in Florida. I guess he's no longer on the case, but he is currently potentially facing sanctions because he said something happened because the opposing party hacked his website.
Always a really
Right.
solid claim.
So, yeah. Anyways, let's see if I can pull this up. Yeah. No, that's the recording from outside his house. Oh, I found it. Good. And this goes back to Greg stuff, but I'm just showing you an example of basically what he's doing with his client. He's doing like PR with his client, but he's doing it badly. And he's like probably one of the main reasons she was indicted is because he kind of pushed this into like such a bad place for her that she faced
his damage control.
Right.
Does exactly the opposite.
So that list on the back, it says naughty list. Dave, Megan, and Omar are my friends who are YouTube streamers. Julie is the judge.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Julie. And he wrote a blog that says, beware of Judge Julie Mata, and like all this crazy shit.
And you didn't make the naughty list, Lauren?
Not this time, no. I think he hates me enough now, but...
You gotta up your game.
I'm telling you, I just want him to put on that hat and that beard and put me on his list. That's all I want. Jesus. Yeah, but no, and Greg is the lawyer for Clayton. So he put opposing counsel's name, the judge's name, and like 3 YouTubers on there. But yeah.
Yeah, the bar loves that.
He's got this whole crash out of the bar going on, but and I'll show you an email that I got from the bar when he responded to my complaint, which is bizarre. But this is what she was saying to him about Greg, the guy that she was just indicted, on the second set of felonies related to. Which you read the indictment, right? So this is going to be obviously stupid. Okay.
Gillespie is who I had.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Gillespie. Yeah. Oof.
I was too early on to get a sonogram or anything, so it was terminated, very, very early on.
Gillespie and Dave Neal said that you send him a sonogram with a Fiverr logo on it or something, or a sonogram.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about.
According to you, you never sent a sonogram to Gillespie, but he said that you did.
Right, he did, but he also knew I was too early to get a sonogram. That's why this doesn't even make any sense. I was too early, and I sued him for abortion.
That's why he knew she was lying.
For the fact that he made me get an abortion.
So your side of the story is that you didn't send him a fake sonogram, but he has a fake sonogram. So he either sent it to himself and like made a fake email from Laura, or somebody hacked into your email. I mean, this is like back in the day, so it was way before the JSC people were even in existence. I'm just trying to figure out like what do you claim happened here with him?
But I didn't send him anything.
This is the thing where Dave Neal found some woman who said that this was her sonogram and that you stole it.
She did steal it, and the woman is listed on the indictment.
That was all what that is. And you didn't steal this woman's sonogram, but she apparently is calling for you to die and be in prison because
nobody ever called for this lady to die. Prison, yes. Death, no. But this
sometimes prison is justified.
Yeah. So this is her family law attorney, David, who hates me. And he's the one who's like getting her to say all this stuff online, which is gonna kill her. You know what I mean? Like when trial comes, and she's like too stupid to realize like I have to take this. This is just my opinion, obviously, but like, I think she's too stupid to take a plea. I think she's too stupid to do that. She's gonna be like, I can get away with this. It'll be fine. Yeah. But no, David.
He's doing great.
David fucked her over, and he's the only attorney she hasn't filed a bar complaint against.
Well, yeah, because he's, I guess, feeding into her ego or what.
Oh, he tells her exactly what she wants to hear. Yeah.
95% of the time you should be telling your client to stop talking and lay
Shut
low,
the fuck up.
make public statements, not doing Santa damage control.
Yeah. No, he did like several YouTube videos like this where he's usually attacking other people. He attacked opposing counsel during the case while it was also ongoing. The appeals were ongoing. What else did he do? He did a whole debate with my friend Rachel, who was just on before you were, who's another attorney, but she's out in California. And she like wiped the floor with him. And it was embarrassing. Yeah.
Also, I noticed how she's not talking in terms of weeks. She's not getting specific. It's just too early for a sonogram. Well,
right.
What do you
Well,
mean too
also
early
somebody
for a
hacked
sonogram?
your account. Nobody hacked your account, bitch. You're just that dumb. Like what? It's crazy. It's just so crazy. But this guy made things so much worse for her with his antics. Like all he had to do was shut the fuck up. And at one point he had an assault rifle in the back corner there. You can't see it in this video. And he was talking about another attorney who comments on YouTube and was like, "You're dead to me," and like wrote his name down like a school shooter on a list. It was crazy. Yeah.
Seems that way.
Yeah. This guy's nuts. Anyways, we'll go over this real quick. I want to see. I haven't shown people this yet because I was like, I don't know if I want to show this online, but he showed mine online. He published my home address on his website, so I don't really feel guilty about this. I'm just going to do it anyways. Let's see. Okay. Let me, hold on, download that real quick. Sorry for the lack of preparation, but it's a long day.
You need a producer, Lauren.
I fucking do. I can't afford one though. I'm just trying to close out some of these tabs. Okay, there we go. We'll move our heads again. Okay. Dear Mr. Lee, who is the guy at the bar, this letter is in response to your follow-up letter dated today. Before I respond to your letter, please consider a hypothetical scenario. And this is in response to my bar complaint about him calling me a cult leader to a court and saying I committed a crime, which I've never, ever been arrested or accused of a crime.
In a pleading.
Right. Before I respond to your letter, please consider a hypothetical. Rather than working for the state bar, imagine you're a police officer. One day you pull a driver over. The driver happens to be black. The driver asks you why you stopped him. In response, you explain, I stopped you because you are black. And someone told me all black people are criminals. Therefore, I am going to detain you until you prove to my satisfaction that you are not a criminal. If you, the bar guy, were the police officer in this hypothetical, in addition to losing your job, you would be subject to civil liability for violating the driver's constitutional rights. You would also likely be charged with a crime and sentenced to prison. That outcome should be obvious. Police officers have a great deal of power, but it is illegal for police to use their power to harass people who are doing nothing wrong.
This is so juvenile.
Yo, so the thing is, he did something wrong here, first of all. And second, what the fuck am I reading? Like, I got this, I was out with a bunch of people. We were at the House of Prime Rib that night, which people in the chat will know. But I was in San Francisco the first time the hearing for Mike was supposed to happen. And I got this letter forwarded to me from the bar. And I was like drunk and out with a bunch of people. And I was passing the phone around. I was like, look at this shit. This is crazy.
That's great.
Yo, right?
Wake up the
So
next morning. Is that real?
Yeah. No, it's real. I understand you may dispute this, but what you were doing here is exactly the same thing as the police officer in the hypothetical scenario. So there you have it. The bar is investigating my complaint against David Gingras because he is a black guy.
Open and shut.
Like, what the fuck is this? Why do you hate black people, Lauren? I swear to God, I don't. Look at
I knew it. I always knew it about you.
Oh, Jesus. But this was so crazy. I like read this. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't believe you actually said this to the bar. And he's like blogging all about how the bar is corrupt. He said one of the bar guys was like demented or cognitively impaired or something. I was like, dude, you're
Great start.
Yeah.
Yeah, this reads like a blog post.
It really does. Oh, man. Okay. I have rights that are protected by the United States Constitution. Among other things, this includes the right to free speech and the right to petition the government for redress of grievances. My status as a lawyer does not deprive me of those rights. So my understanding is that your constitutional right to free speech does not preclude the organization to which you swore to uphold their ethical values from punishing you for violating those standards.
Certainly not. There are advertising restrictions. I don't know. Arizona bar, Florida bar has advertising restrictions. you can get in trouble if you're advertising your practice in such a way that's unbecoming of your status as an attorney.
Yeah.
There's a really famous situation with the pit bull lawyer down in Miami who advertised himself as the pit bull lawyer.
Yeah.
And he got sanctioned by the bar.
I actually didn't hear about that. I heard about the pit bull lawyer, but I didn't hear the outcome. So
yeah, you have your constitutional rights, but you are also held to a higher standard by the bar.
Right. So this guy, when he accused me of being a criminal and said I committed a crime, he stated that as a fact without any sort of real evidence, because there wasn't any. I didn't commit a crime. But he said that not as a lawyer for any party in the case. He was seeking to be an intervener, which was denied, by the way. And he, wasn't acting on behalf of a client. And also he knew for a fact that I was doing satire and I was not actually impersonating him. So he's like freaking out. He's like, well, that's my First Amendment right to free speech. I'm like, no, dude, you knew that this was
wrong. What about your First Amendment right?
Right. He's like, you knew this was wrong. You knew that what you did and the way that you presented it was, improper. You were not acting on behalf of your client. You were not acting in good faith based on what your client told you. You did this by yourself for no reason whatsoever. I had nothing to do with it. I'm not in part of the case.
Ways, buddy.
Yeah. Nutty. But here he is like, it's like pulling over a black person. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you talking about? So crazy. Okay. So he's saying you would lose your job, blah, blah, blah. I have rights that are protected by the Constitution. Okay. So you're not going to go to jail, though. I mean, he might because he just got a second DUI, but it's not going to be about this. Just like
the bar doesn't send you to jail. The bar suspends or revokes your license, which they have prerogative to do.
And he's got much, much bigger complaints to deal with than mine as far as the Arizona bar goes. But here we are. Just like the driver in my hypothetical, I have constitutional right to engage in free speech without fear of harassment by any state actor. That includes you. For that reason, your requests in this matter are not lawful, and I would be well within my rights to refuse to respond. Despite this, I will offer a few short comments. Okay, and then I don't want to show the rest of this because the rest of this complaint, he's like doxing an anonymous online user who he also did this to, where he put her in one of his legal filings and like said some crazy shit. And he like took the opportunity to dox her full name, address, phone number, whatever. And then he posted this on his fucking blog, like her whole everything, like her address and everything. Like he did it to me too, but in a like a lesser way. He uploaded a document with it on it, but he actually posted a whole blog post in retaliation with her name, phone number, address, etc., which was crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna skim past that.
Yeah, no need to boost that.
Yeah, he is basically saying that we're both part of a cult, and so that shouldn't be taken seriously. All the pleadings I filed were pro se. That is indeed the problem, sir. You were not acting on behalf of your client. You were just being a psycho. But okay. Why does that matter? It matters because the Arizona Supreme Court's power is limited to regulating the practice of law in Arizona. So this happened in California, and I knew that, it was a little bit of a stretch to think that the Arizona State Bar would investigate something that happened in California because he's barred in both states. But they do have that right. And he's pointing to that here.
So, I mean, his conduct is what it is. If he's convicted of some serious crime in another state,
right? So
a different state bar absolutely can take action.
Yeah, and then he's saying like the bar, the court has no authority to harass people who are not engaged in the practice of law simply because they happen to be lawyers. Okay, that's not exactly what's going on here. Okay. But sure. Here, the pro se pleadings I filed in California were filed for myself, not on behalf of any client, since I was only representing myself, not a client. I was not engaged in the practice of law, either in Arizona or California. Accordingly, my conduct in California was and is simply outside the scope of the Arizona Supreme Court's authority to regulate, especially given that this conduct occurred in the court of a different state. So I don't understand, like, maybe he's right. Maybe I don't just get this, but like, can a lawyer just file pro se and technically be like, I'm not practicing law, and just say whatever the fuck they want? Like, that's kind of crazy.
Well, no, I mean, they're not two different people. He is still
Right.
himself.
Yeah. So he's
You know.
basically saying, I'm pro se, so it doesn't matter what I do. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
Well, I mean, what pro se means is representing yourself.
Right.
So if he's representing himself, he is his
I'm
own
not practicing law.
attorney.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I don't
you
get
are,
it.
though. I mean, it's an interesting question, to be honest. I don't have a perfect answer for that, and it might be something that varies bar to bar. But
well, I've obviously never seen anything like this before, so I was like, okay, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but they say you're an attorney 24/7, 365. You can't just turn off your attorney status on a technicality because you're representing yourself pro se. You still are representing yourself. You're your own. Even a non-attorney pro se litigant is their own attorney in fact. That's the language that's used.
Right. Accordingly, my conduct in California was and is simply outside the scope of the Arizona Supreme Court's authority to regulate, especially given this conduct occurred in the court of a different state. But he does acknowledge somewhere in here, and I think I may have skipped over it, that they do have, the right to investigate something that happened in a different state. So, having said that, I note Ms. Neidigh's complaint does not identify any specific false statements other than this. Okay, but other than this, and this is a pretty specific statement, okay? Mr. Gingras accused me of engaging in criminal conduct, specifically of impersonating him through electronic means for purposes of harming, intimidating, threatening, or defrauding another person under California Penal Code Section 528.5A, a statute that prohibits online identity theft and harassment. That is quite specific, I thought. No?
Yeah, that's serious.
So what's the problem? What do you mean? It doesn't identify any specific false statements. That's a false statement, and it's very specific. Like, what?
Yeah.
Again, because Ms. Neidigh has not provided you with any evidence showing this statement is false, you have no lawful grounds to demand that I explain the basis for what I said. Okay. That's not how the First Amendment works. Again, you're not dealing with the Constitution in the sense that you're not going to go to jail, right?
Yeah. He's not under criminal investigation.
Right. Not for this, anyways.
Not in this instance.
Harassing me for my lawful speech and lawful petitioning activity is exactly the same thing as a police officer stopping a driver without any legal basis for doing so.
You love saying exactly the same thing, huh? When it's not, in fact, exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Both things are illegal for the same reason. What? Despite this, if you would like proof my statement was true, please review the pleadings I filed in the California action where that statement was made. Those pleadings attached here too are self-explanatory. So I did actually send them those pleadings. And I'll show you that section, even though I think you may have already read them, but just as a refresher.
I think I did. I remember you sending.
Please note, I will not respond to any further inquiries regarding Ms. Neidigh's complaint unless you first provide evidence showing that any basis exists for her complaint. I'm pretty sure they already did because this was a follow-up letter, but okay.
That's a bold stance to take with the bar. I will not respond to further inquiry. You have to, buddy.
Well, he's writing about how corrupt they are all over his blog and saying all kinds of crazy. I don't fucking know, man. Since no such evidence exists, I'm confident that no further time will be wasted on this matter. As I've already explained, Ms. Neidigh's complaint is groundless. If you proceed with discipline based on it, I will move to dismiss this proceeding under Arizona's anti-SLAPP law. I don't think that's how that works. And I will request an order requiring the state of Arizona to pay both attorney's fees and damages, including lost income. You're broke with no clients, bitch. For the time I have spent responding.
The bar?
Yes.
He's threatening the bar with the prospect
Constantly.
of
Like,
the bar
constantly.
to the bar.
Yeah. Well, can
That's
you like
great.
anti-slap the bar for their ethical standards? I don't think that's a thing. Dude, what are you talking about? What a weird.
This is like toddler negotiating with their parent energy.
Yeah, right. Anyways, here is the pleading or whatever that he said they should look at. Let's see. Tonight's complaint does not identify. Where is it? Please review the pleadings I filed in California where that statement was made. Let's do that, David. Hold on. Okay, let me just get to the part about. It wasn't this one. He mentioned me a lot in this one, but it wasn't this one. It's a different. It's the one below it, I think. Yep. Yeah, it's probably this one. Actually, it might even be the next one, dude. There was a lot going on here. A lot going on. It's like nutty shit. What's that?
Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, and then he's got like Omar's thumbnails in here and being like, he's a terrible person. Like, that's not true, but okay. As an opposition.
Sometimes you gotta play the YouTube thumbnail game, right?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's just showing boxing photos. He's like, that's an assault. Like, fuck off. It's a sport.
No,
but okay.
No, it's not.
Okay. Oh, here it is. Hang on. So here's me and my friend at an event where you can see in the background it says Justin versus Blake. So we're clearly talking about something that's not related to his case. But he had to stalk my friend Zach, who had the event in Arizona, to find this photo because I didn't post that shit. Like, look at this picture of me. You think I posted that shit on my social media? I did not. No. So, like, he has been watching everything that I'm doing and decided to pick that one out, which is creepy as fuck. We were not talking about him. I don't know why he chose this photo. Basically, just to show we're friends. He could have chosen any photo, basically, where we were talking about him on YouTube or whatever, but he decided to show me how much he's been paying attention to me for the last 6 months. I don't know.
It's not like that is a fact in controversy.
Right.
You admit to that.
Yeah.
It
So
really sounds like he doesn't have any other clients if he has time for all this.
No, dude, he doesn't. Okay, so he's talking about me some more, saying basically that I only talk about the stuff to make money and that I defame him, whatever, harass him for money. I'm like, dude, I spend as much time reading his stupid drivel as I do to like the other lawyers who file in these cases. So like I read his for I don't know how long with my friends. I spend lots of time reading the other side's pleadings with my friends. Like I spend equal time. I'm an equal opportunity reader here, but I happen to not like his, so he doesn't like the way that I talk about them. But I'm allowed to do that. I spend equal time. I criticize. I agree or whatever.
How many times do we have to say First Amendment?
Yeah, just crazy shit. I mean, God. But here he like accuses me of okay, so this, I will admit, this looks bad. So this is what he's saying I did that basically committed a crime. Examples are too numerous to include them all, so consider this. Miss Neidigh recently created a social media profile. First of all, that's not true. This is the same one profile I've had on Discord, I think. As far as I know, I don't have another Discord profile. Same one I've had for 10 years. Using the name David Gingras. Yes, I did that because I was in a server among friends where I announced myself and said I was parodying David Gingras. Accompanied by a photo of undersigned counsel's face photoshopped onto Miss Owens' body. Okay, I did that, yes. But
that's some fine work.
What part of undersigned counsel's face photoshopped onto Miss Owens' body screams credible impersonation to you? What the fuck is happening here? Using that account, she spends hours each day. Again, not true. And I like looked up my time spent on apps after he wrote this, and it was like less than an hour spent on all Discord servers I'm on. So I could spend like 30 minutes on like a gaming server and like 10 minutes on this one, and it would be like I had 40 minutes total that day.
He really undercuts himself with all these.
He's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Posting comments in the name of David Gingras, including this fine work of poetry. David's brain is smoother than a porn star's butthole.
Yeah, that sounds like you.
I said that, yes. I said that. I'm not going to deny that I said that. It was me. I did it.
No reason
I did it. I wasn't trying to hide my identity. Everybody knew it was me. So yeah, so he says, is Mr. Serrato, Omar, the other attorney in the case, liable for the criminal conduct of his friend Miss Neidigh? And then there's the footnote down here where he's very specific about which crime he thinks I've committed. It is both a tort and crime in the state of California for any person to knowingly and without consent credibly impersonate another actual person through or on an internet website by other electronic means for purposes of harming, intimidating, threatening, or defrauding another person. And then he, cites this specific statute. So the purpose of that was I was making fun of him because he stressed me out with his weird accusations.
And
it
wasn't
have a
credible.
laugh. Right. I was having a laugh with my friends and I put his head on someone else's body. It's like nobody thought that was David Gingras.
No.
Nobody.
No. It sounds like he read impersonate another person and just ignored the rest of the clause.
Right. I don't know. The whole thing was just so stupid to me. My God. But yeah. Anyways, there's one more thing I want to look at before we sign off here tonight, because I'm not going to read the rest of this fucking stupid shit. Hang on. It's that dating contract between that Laura sends out to her victims. Let me see if I can find it.
She's the same standard boilerplate for her dating contract.
It kind of seems that way, yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can find. That's not it. Yeah. Despite over 500 texts, calls, emails, and using over 10 different phone numbers and email addresses to contact Clayton, Laura repeatedly proposed dating contracts, stipulating she would terminate the pregnancy if Clayton agreed to date her exclusively. Clayton declined her offers. Clayton is at least the second man known publicly to have received dating contracts from Laura Owens. Greg is the other recipient. So he was sadly not the first. Let me see if I can find the actual emails. If not, that's okay. There's a lot here. Oof. Yeah. Somebody like took the time to do all this in order and all that, and I'm just like, I don't know how you do it. I can't. Okay. There's gonna be like emails here. If I can find it. Okay. So she actually successfully got an order against him. I think it was like an injunction against harassment she told the judge or commissioner or whoever at the time. What makes being a mod so difficult? What did I do, bro? Anyways, she told the judge or commissioner, whoever, whose name was Judge Duty, by the way, Duty. Okay. We're not going to talk about that, but D-O-O-D-Y. So she told him, like, basically she was able to convince the judge, commissioner, whatever he is now, that she totally did not fake this. And it was like, or like Clayton definitely did it. And it was like a meme that somebody made on Reddit. Somebody else who is not related to Clayton in any way. And she was like, he did this and like, I feel threatened. And so she got the injunction against harassment against him.
So there was an actual hearing and he lost the hearing?
He represented himself at the time. So yes.
Yeah.
But then when he was trying to get an order against her, people kind of rallied and did a GoFundMe type thing so he could get representation. And then he was able to get an order against her. Yeah. And then also after that, he had the same firm represent him in the family law case. So, all right.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it. If not, it is what it is. But petitioner's motion to dismiss, establish paternity, legal decision-making, parenting. Yeah, she tried to get child support, parenting time, all that kind of crazy stuff with the fake twins. There's just so much.
Yeah, I'm sure the statute, Florida's does. I'm sure the statute authorized the ability to file a paternity petition before birth.
Yeah.
I just don't see how that's ever a good idea.
No. No.
So much of the process is designed for there to actually be, a physical child outside the womb.
Well, for like child support and shit, it's like, what are you going to really do beforehand? But then at the same time, I don't know if it's like an ongoing long hearing, like especially this really complicated shit, and there's actually a baby involved.
Right. Time sharing, custody exchange with the child. You can't do that while the baby is gestating.
No. No. I mean, you could try. Might be a little weird, though. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I can find this one tonight. Let's see. Quash deposition petitioner. She admitted in her deposition, by the way, that she altered an ultrasound, which was hilarious.
Well, that could be used against her, and I'm sure it will.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This is a lot to go through here, so I probably won't be able to find it today. But there was a dating contract out there somewhere. I'll show it to you someday.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I should review that. It might be a good idea to keep a template of that on hand. You never know when you might need it.
Fake Laura Owens, thank you for the $5. Ignore that. I think if you learned one thing, I will not be ignoring. All right.
Good thing it says fake Laura Owens.
Yeah. No. Real Laura Owens is blocked for sure. So, all right, I gotta roll.
Or else
in.
it might be a credible impersonation.
Yeah, that would be way closer, right? I gotta go because I gotta get to bed. So I gotta wake up
Sure.
tomorrow. So, all right, thanks everyone. Alex, stay put for a second. I'm gonna hit the end stream button and then.
Sounds good. It's been fun.
Give me 1 sec.